straight. All praises, all praises. Hey, you got everything opened up? That's the first one?
Yep.
Alright, hey, that all praises. Well, first and foremost, man, we're going to start off like we always do, as we always do, and that's by giving all praises and all glory and all honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
Through his only begotten Son, Jesus the Christ.
Right.
Secondly, we're going to give double honors to our elders. See, our elders, they rule well. Our elders, they're counted worthy of double honors. So our elders get double honors.
Facts though.
Thirdly, lastly, finally, I want to say to all of my brothers, all of my sisters out there, Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath. My name is Priest Lithiel Ben Israel.
And likewise, my name is Priest Ron Ben Israel.
And we, as you already know, we are with the Straight Gate of Israel, the holy nation of Israel. And we're back again with another class, another topic, another lesson. But before we proceed any further, I want you out there to get your Bibles and your Apocryphas. Read along with us if you can. Get your notebooks, get your pens, get your paper, get your pencils. Take notes if it's in your spirit. Lord's willing, this will be an edifying lesson that I am going to entitle 2 Wonders, 1 Sign in Heaven. And we're going to open up in Hebrews 11 and 20.
The book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 20.
Read.
By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come.
By faith, Isaac, the prophet Isaac, the father of Jacob and Esau, blessed them concerning things to come. Meaning, concerning the future. Concerning the future of the world, which is their future. Yo, it's their future. And we're going to talk about this in this class. But before we move any further, give me Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12, because I said Isaac was a prophet. And some people may not know that Isaac was a prophet, even though Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come in the future.
Which made him a prophet.
Which makes him a prophet. But read this real quick.
The book of Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Read.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Read.
And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe.
Take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, meaning which is not of your nationality. You cannot marry women outside of your nation. You know what that's called? Whoredom. You know what another word for whoredom is? Fornication. Interracial marriage, interracial dating, miscegenation is fornication. It's whoredom, yo. But that's not the point we want. Keep going.
For we are the children of the prophets.
We are the children of the prophets. Read.
Noah.
See, Noah was a prophet. Read.
Abraham.
Abraham was a prophet. Read.
Isaac.
Who?
Isaac.
Isaac was a prophet. The forefather Isaac was a prophet of the Lord. Read.
And Jacob.
And Jacob was a prophet as well. Read.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
And their seed shall inherit the land. And that starts with the promised land, but it continues with the earth in its entirety. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, notice how I mentioned Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as prophets. You know who it don't mention? Esau.
Right. You know who else it don't mention? Ishmael.
Yeah, just leaving that out there. Even though they came from prophets, they not counted amongst the prophets. That's it.
That's a fact. Ishmael, you too.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Ishmaelites like to be like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Ishmael. No!
Oh yeah.
No.
Ishmael be a prophet. No, that's what the Bible says.
They think Muhammad's a prophet. He was illiterate. Couldn't be a prophet. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, because it says blessings read. So these are prophets. We know we can read.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Hey, give me my first folder, man. Give me my first folder. Let's play this video real quick about the blessings of Jacob and Esau. Hey, see if you can enlarge it real fast. Go to those 3 dots at the bottom. Zoom the fill. See what it looks like. Never mind. Zoom out. All right, we straight? We good? Press play. That's crazy. I thought I heard sound at first.
Yeah, I did too.
Jacob and Esau were twin brothers in the book of Genesis. Esau, the firstborn, was a skilled hunter favored by their father, Isaac. On the other hand, Jacob was more domestic and preferred by their mother, Rebekah. One day, as Esau returned famished from hunting, Jacob took advantage of his weakness and convinced him to sell his birthright in exchange for a bowl of lentil stew. Later, when Isaac was old and blind, he intended to give his blessing to Esau. However, Rebekah, with Jacob's assistance, deceived Isaac by dressing Jacob in Esau's clothing. Jacob obtained the blessing meant for Esau, further fueling Esau's bitterness and anger towards his brother. The story of Jacob and Esau portrays the consequences of deception and envy within a family, leading to a broken relationship between the brothers. It serves as a cautionary tale about the damaging effects of deceit and the importance of honesty and trust in familial bonds.
Hey, before we continue, give me Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 24. Because regardless of Jacob taking advantage of Esau, regardless of Rebekah deceiving Isaac, these things were of the Lord, Joe. Whether you know this or not. These things took place of the Lord. Because of the Lord. Read that real quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 24.
Read.
Man's goings.
Man's goings, read.
Are of the Lord.
Man's goings are of the Lord, including Isaac's goings, Rebekah's goings, Jacob's goings, and Esau's goings. Their goings, just like all men's goings, are of the Lord, Joe. Read it again.
Man's goings are of the Lord.
Read.
How can a man then understand his own way?
He can't. He cannot understand his own way. Give me Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 23. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 23. Because a lot of people think that Jacob getting the blessing, that was from man or of man. It was because of Jacob. Because of Rebekah. No. It was because of the Lord, Joe. Because of the Lord. Read this.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 23.
Read.
O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself.
This is why man can't understand his own way. Because the way of man is not in himself, yo. Man's ways, man's goings are of the Lord, not of himself, not of herself. Read.
It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps.
Hey, Proverbs 16 and 9. If man doesn't direct his steps, who directs the steps of man? Read this real quick.
The book of Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 9.
A
man's heart deviseth his way.
A man's heart may devise his way, meaning a man plans. You plan what you want to do. Read.
But the Lord.
But who?
But the Lord.
Read.
Directeth his steps.
But see, it's the Lord that directs the steps of man, yo. It was the Lord that directed Isaac's steps, Rebekah's steps, Jacob's steps, and Esau's steps. Whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not, doesn't matter. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 19. Let me get Genesis 25 and verse 19. The
book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 19.
Read.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac.
So we're about to read about the generations of Isaac. Who was Isaac? Isaac was Abraham's son. He was the son of Abraham. Read.
And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, of Padan Aram,
Read.
the sister to Laban, the Syrian.
The sister to Laban, the Syrian. Rebekah had a brother. Her brother's name was Laban. Keep going.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
Why?
Because she was barren.
Because she was barren. She couldn't get pregnant for a time. Read.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
And the Lord was entreated of Isaac. Read.
And Rebekah his wife conceived.
And Rebekah conceived. She got pregnant. Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
But the children were struggling together in her womb, meaning they were fighting with each other in her womb. They were wrestling with each other in her womb. Read.
And she said.
And she said what?
If it be so.
If this is from God, read.
Why am I thus?
She said, why is this happening to me, yo? Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
She went to inquire of the Lord. Remember, in those times, when man or woman went to inquire of the Lord, they went to a prophet, a seer. Give me that in 1 Samuel chapter 9. 1 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 9 real quick. Let's get that.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 9.
Before
a time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God.
When a man or a woman went to inquire of God, the Lord, read.
Thus he spake, come, and let us go to the seer.
Come, let us go to the seer, read.
For he that is now called a prophet.
For the man that is now called the prophet.
Was before a time called a seer.
Was once before called a seer. Go back to the book of Genesis 25. Read 23 again. No, 22 again.
The book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22.
Read.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so.
If this is of the Lord, read.
Why am I thus?
Why is this happening to me? Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
She went to a seer. She went to a prophet. Read.
And the Lord said unto her,
What'd he say?
2 nations are in thy womb.
And the Lord told her, 2 nations of people are in thy womb. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 manner of people, 2 different people will be separated from birth. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
One people will be stronger than the other people. Read.
And the elder,
whoever's born first, read,
shall serve the younger.
Will serve the younger, whoever's born second. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold,
read,
there were twins in her womb.
There were twins in her womb. Read.
And the first came out red.
And the elder came out red. Read.
All over
his body.
Like a hairy garment.
Like a hairy garment. So the first came out red all over. Meaning he was red from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. He was a red boy. Read.
And they called his name Esau.
And they called the red boy Esau. Esau. Read.
And after that came his brother out.
And after him, his brother was born. Read.
And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
And he was born holding to Esau's heel. Read.
And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. Keep going.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
And Isaac was 60 years old. 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth. When she gave birth to Esau and Jacob, to Esau and Jacob. Now, when you read this, you read about Esau being described. Being described as being red. Red all over his body. From the top of his head to the soles of his feet. He was a red boy. But they never mentioned Jacob's complexion. They never described what Jacob looked like. Why? Because Jacob looked like everybody else from the beginning. Meaning Jacob was a so-called black man. Because from the beginning, everybody was what you would call black. Let's prove that real quick. Give me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. Let's start off in the very beginning. In the very beginning.
The book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
This man is Adam. The Lord God formed man. He formed Adam from the dust of the ground. The first man ever created was created out of the ground, Joe. Read.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
And what?
And man became a living soul.
Give me Sirach chapter 33 and verse 10. So Adam, the first man ever created, he was made out of the ground, Joe. When? On the 6th day of creation. But not only was Adam made out of the ground, but every man that was created on the 6th day, on the day of creation, was made out of the ground. Sirach 33 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 10.
Read.
And all men are from the ground.
Read it again.
And all men.
No, some men.
And all men.
And all men, read.
Are from the ground.
And all men are from the ground. When? In the 6th day of creation. All men were created from the ground. Read.
And Adam was created of earth.
Including Adam as well. And Adam was created of the earth. Now, how does the Bible describe the ground? Jeremiah 14 and 2.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Read.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Here we go.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
Unto what?
Unto the ground.
And what else?
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
They are black unto the ground. In this verse, the Bible describes the Jews as being black people.
Right.
In this verse, the Bible also describes the dust of the ground as being black. In the beginning, all men were made from the dust of the ground. The dust of the ground is black, so that means in the beginning, all men were what?
Black.
Black. They were so-called black men, yo. Real talk, all men. All the way up until you get to the birth of Esau. All the way until you get to the birth of Esau, the boy who came out red all over. From the top of his head to the soles of his feet. Hey, let's go back to Genesis 25, but I want verse 23.
Book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23.
Read.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 manner of people, 2 different people will be separated from birth, from thy bowels. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And the one people are going to be stronger than the other people. Read.
And the elder.
And the elder, which we know is the red boy, it's Esau. Read.
Shall serve the younger.
Who we know as Jacob. Esau shall serve Jacob, yo. Yeah. That's what this is telling you right here. Is that in the verse 23?
Yes.
Hey, give me my second folder. Let me get my second folder. You got something?
Miss Chan, make sure you put Hellboy.
Hellboy. The red boy.
Yeah, the red boy, Hellboy.
Anderson Devil.
Straight up.
They played themselves.
Anderson Devil, you know what I mean?
Hey, enlarge this. Yeah, you got to do it like that. Bring it over.
Yeah, you got to yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. We straight?
Yeah.
All praises. Hey, read that. And the Lord said unto her.
Genesis 25:23. And the Lord said unto her, either by one or other of the above persons shall she acquainted with this affair, and entreated to seek the Lord for her, or by an impulse upon her own mind. 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations are in thy womb. Read.
Or 2 persons.
Or 2 persons.
From whom 2 nations will spring.
Or 2 persons from whom 2 nations will spring. Read.
The Edomites.
The Edomites, which are the people of Esau. The nation of Esau, read.
And Israelites.
And the Israelites would be the people of Jacob. The nation of Jacob, read.
The one from Esau.
That's the Edomites.
The other from Jacob.
That's the Israelites, read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 manner of people will be separated from thy bowels from birth. Meaning what? Watch, read.
Different in their body.
When it says 2 manner of people, it's saying 2 different types of people. So different, they're going to be different in their bodies.
Complexion.
Different in their complexions. Remember, Esau came out red all over. He had a red complexion. But Jacob, his complexion was that of everybody else. Dark. He was a so-called black man, read.
Manner of life.
Even their manner of life is different. The way they live, read.
Religion.
What they believe is different, read.
As well as place of abode.
Where they lived, how they lived was different, read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Keep going.
The Edomites, the posterity of Esau, were a very potent people.
Were a very potent people. Right?
Very potent people, Salakia. It had a succession of dukes and kings.
Remember in the Bible, Esau were the first dukes. They had a succession of dukes and kings, read.
Before the Israelites.
Even before Israel, read.
The posterity of Jacob made any figure in the world. And while they were slaves in Egypt, see Genesis 36, 1-43. Though in later times the Israelites became the stronger.
Though in later times the Israelites became the stronger. Even though the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, they became stronger than Esau. And Esau wasn't in Egypt. They weren't in captivity. But Jacob was, and Jacob still became stronger or greater. Read.
And the elder.
Or greater.
And the elder or greater shall serve the younger.
Read.
Or lesser, the offspring of Esau, the eldest, should become tributary to the posterity of Jacob.
Oh, the eldest. Esau, the Edomites, should become tributary to the posterity, meaning the Israelites, to the posterity of Jacob, which are the Israelites, shall read.
The younger, which was verified in the times of David.
Hey, and this right here took place in the times of David. David made them tributaries, read.
When the Edomites were subdued by him.
He subdued them. He made them tributaries, read.
2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 14. And still more in the times of Hyrcanus.
And this is talking about John Hyrcanus. Also in John Hyrcanus, also in John Hyrcanus times, he subdued Edom as well, read.
When the Edomites or Idumeans became one people with the Jews.
Remember, John Hyrcanus, he forced the Edomites, the Idumeans, to convert to Judaism, to convert to keeping God's law. He forced them to do that right there. Read.
And embrace their religion.
Talking about laws, our laws, read.
Rather than to be dispossessed of their country.
And if they refused to do it, he was going to kill them, or he was going to exile them from the lands of Edom, from Idumea. And when you look up the history, they didn't want to be exiled from their country. So they converted to God's laws, right?
And will have a further accomplishment in the latter days.
Stop. Notice what he said. He's saying, and they're going to have a further accomplishment in the latter days, man. In the latter days. What is he telling you? It's going to happen again. Esau is going to be subdued. Esau will become tributaries again. Remember, God's judgments are like what? A ring. They continue to go around and around and around and around. This is why God's judgments on Edom took place under David. God's judgments on Edom took place under Hyrcanus. God's judgments on Edom will take place again in the future under Christ.
That's right.
Real talk. Read.
When the prophecies in Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18 through 21.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. He don't know what the hell he's talking about right here. He talking when the prophecies in Obadiah 18 come to pass. No, the prophecy in Obadiah 18 ain't about Edom being no damn tributaries. The prophecy in Obadiah 18 is about extermination. That's what it's about. Extermination. Finish this and then give me Obadiah verse 18 about that.
Shall be fulfilled of the use which the apostle Paul makes of this passage. See Gil on Romans 9 and 11.
Hey, give me Obadiah verse 18. Talking about that's the prophecy about Esau becoming tributaries. No, it's not. Obadiah verse 18. Matter of fact, start at 15 and then jump down to 18 for me.
The book of Obadiah, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Read.
Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. And the house of Joseph a flame.
Meaning we're going to be just like our Lord in that day. But keep going.
And the house of Esau for stubble.
And the house of Esau will be for stubble. Read.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
And devour them. Read.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord hath spoken it.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. This prophecy is not about Edom becoming tributaries, yo. This prophecy is about extermination of the house of Esau. Now, you want to read about Esau becoming tributaries? Give me Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1, please. Let's read about Esau becoming tributaries real fast. Becoming servants.
There you go.
Becoming slaves.
That's the only way they can pay tribute.
Yeah, bring that out for me.
The book of Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand.
He had a great chain in his hand, read.
And he laid hold on the dragon.
He laid hold on the dragon.
That old serpent.
That old serpent.
Which is the devil.
Which is the devil.
And Satan.
And Satan.
And bound him 1,000 years.
And bound him in those chains for 1,000 years. Who is this dragon? This serpent? Satan. The devil. It's Esau. It's Edom, yo. That's who it is. Give me Revelation chapter 12 and verse 3. We're going to show you all that real quick.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Remember, this class is 2 wonders, 1 sign in heaven. This is one of the 2 wonders. This is the second wonder that John the Revelator saw in heaven. Read it again.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. You there?
Hold on.
Get the Revelations 12 and 3 for me real quick. And I need you to read the annotation next to wonder in heaven. Or next to next to wonder in heaven in verse 3.
Alright, annotation in my Bible. Number 2, wonders in heaven. Or sign.
Or sign. See, wonders are signs. Signs are wonders. Keep that in mind. Wonders are signs. Signs are wonders. Read it again.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
Read.
And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
A great red dragon. Remember, in the Bible, dragons are symbolic for men. We talk about this. I've talked about this a couple times. In the Bible, dragons represent men. They represent men. Give me Job chapter 30. Job chapter 30. Start at 29.
The book of Job chapter 30 and verse 29. I am a brother to dragons.
What do you say?
I am a brother to dragons.
In the Bible, men are likened to dragons. This is why Job said, I am a brother to dragons. Finish the verse.
And a companion to owls.
Give me the one in 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15, I want 28 and 29 real quick.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 28.
Read.
Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia. What are the nations of Arabia being called here? Dragons. they're being called dragons. See, men are likened to dragons in the Bible, yo. Finish the verse.
Shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Go back to Revelation 12 and 3.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon.
And behold, a great red dragon. Now we know dragons are analogous for men. The question becomes, what man is this red dragon represent? Oh, the red man. It represents the red man. It represents Esau, his posterity, the Edomites. That's who this dragon represents right here. You got something?
Isaiah would say his face shall be red.
Oh, no, you good. Read that. Read it again.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads, Greece, Rome, Spain, Russia, Germany, Great Britain. The 10 horns, the European Union. The European Union. This great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns represents Esau, the Edomites. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out.
And the great dragon is talking about that great red dragon. That red dragon was cast out. Read.
That old serpent.
That old serpent.
Called the devil.
Called the devil.
And Satan.
And Satan.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
Which deceiveth the whole world. Read.
He was cast out into the earth.
Read.
And his angels were cast out with him.
Let's go back to Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20. I want 1 and 2 again.
The book of Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand.
And a great chain in his hand. Read.
And he laid hold on the dragon.
And he laid hold on the dragon, this red dragon. Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Read.
That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
That's how you know it's Esau, Edom, the Edomites. We just read that in Revelation 12 and 9. Read.
And bound him 1,000 years.
And bound him 1,000 years, yo. 1,000 years in chains. 1,000 years in servitude. 1,000 years as tributaries. Real talk. This is what they were talking about. This is coming back around for Edom, yo. Let's go back to the screen, though. Let's go back to the screen. Go over to my next one. I want to see what's next. Okay, remember we read 2 manner of people. And then it talked about how they would be different, even different in complexion. Remember, Esau the first, the elder, he came out red all over like a hairy garment. He was different in complexion from his brother Jacob. Jacob looked like everybody else. Go over. Like this. Adam.
Dust of the ground.
From the dust of the ground. Genesis 2 and 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And that man that became a living soul, a black man.
That's right.
A so-called black man named Adam. This is a better biblical depiction of Adam. You know what I'm talking about? Go over, bro. It just shows you the difference in complexion, man. Go over. Look at this. Read this.
Black, often used to denote the color of physical objects. Hair. Leviticus 13:31-37. Song of Solomon.
Yeah.
5 and 11. Skin.
And skin. You can stop right there, like Job 30 and 30, yo. Like Job 30 and 30. Hey, go over. Hey, remember we read Esau and Jacob are different. You might say, how different are they? This different. Press play.
And a washcloth. Why would I need a washcloth? To wash yourself with. It's in the name. Washcloth. I just take the soap and rub it on my body. That's nasty. I mean, you're getting the soap all dirty. Soap can't get dirty. It's soap. Wait a minute, do white people not use washcloths? I don't know any who do. Do black people use washcloths? I don't know any who don't. Really?
2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Go over. Now, this one, before you press play, this one is disgusting. A lot of you brothers are attracted to this. You look at her and you think she's the beauty of the earth. Well, I want you to know what your dime does with her behind. Press play.
So I actually don't wipe my bum. When you think about it, in nature, no other animal wipes after they use the restroom. So why do we do that? And I know there's got to be a benefit to not wiping. I don't really know what it is. But if God wanted us to wipe after we use the restroom, we would have a built-in way to do that into our neck. You know what I mean? So because we don't, I personally believe that wiping after using the restroom is not good for your health.
And she's not the only one. It's a lot of white women that believe that. And a lot of you brothers are attracted to that. So when you get home and she has brown streaks in her panties, don't cry and complain.
On the bed sheet.
She told you she don't wipe. Exactly, on the covers.
Don't cry and complain. You know, she already told you she don't wipe. This is the difference, just one of the differences, between Jacob and Esau.
They don't use washcloths. They don't use Downy toilet paper. Go over. Press play on this one.
Black people swim with sharks. It's like, bro, I'm black. My life's extreme enough. Why
Facts.
am I doing rock climbing?
Yeah, there you got it.
Jumping out of a plane. This is all white people. White people love this because they're always the ones trying to cope. Because black people can fight better. It's inside of us, so we feel like we don't have to cope as much. Whereas the white boy feels like he can't like
One people shall be stronger than the other.
Press play.
cope. So to try and prove he's a tough guy, he does some dumb shit like swim with sharks. You know, you can get the f*** out of me, but look, I went swimming with sharks. I can still get the f*** out of you. You're just an idiot. What does that prove? That you were lucky? That the shark wasn't particularly hungry? It's all white people. Caving. What the f*** are you white people doing down in caves? There is nothing down there.
That's that Edomite coming out of it.
What are you doing? I've never seen a black person caving. I've never seen one.
See? Jacob and Esau are different, man, from the way that we bathe
Hey.
to wiping ourselves after we use the restroom to the type of sports we like. Real talk. We're just the different people. What you got to say, bro?
Oh, name. How you prefer, you know how you say you got white Edomite? Well, I know
Yeah,
the Hodge twins got a Edomite father and a black mother, and they look opposite.
But yeah, that's how the game go, man.
Yeah,
That's how the game go.
Complexion, the confusion of faces, complexions.
Hey, go over. Hey, enlarge this real quick. And scroll up. Can this be seen? This looks
Yeah, it's blurry.
blurry. I didn't know this was blurry like
Oh,
that.
you say you got it.
It looks good? You can see it?
It looks alright.
Hey, well, read the first paragraph for me. First two paragraphs.
Actually, look better on the phone.
First of twin boys, born to Isaac and Rebekah. Esau was in line to become a patriarch.
No, he wasn't.
One of the Jewish founding fathers.
No, he wasn't.
Abraham, Isaac, and Esau.
It's always Edomites and Ishmaelites that like to do this. Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. It's not that, man. It's not that. Keep going.
But it didn't work out that way.
Because it wasn't meant to work out that way. Keep going.
Even in the udder.
Even in the uterus.
In the uterus.
Even in the uterus. Even in the womb. Rebecca's womb. Read.
Esau and his brother Jacob
Jockeyed
for position.
They struggled with each other. They were wrestling and fighting each other, even in their mother's womb, even in her uterus. Yeah. Read.
That's why Esau came on first. Jacob giving that business in there.
Beat his ass. Excuse me, Dad. You know what I mean. Go ahead, keep going.
To the discomfort of their mother.
And that was a discomfort to their mother. This is why she said, if this is of the Lord, why is this happening to me? Because it was a discomfort to her. Read.
When Rebekah asked God what was going on, he said her sons would become rival nations.
They would become what?
Rival nations.
Not only would they become two different nations, they would also become two rival nations. Rival nations. Enemies. Read.
And the older son would serve the younger.
And the older would serve the younger. And we know Esau was the older.
Yep.
He will serve the younger. Yo, go over. I don't want that next part. Go over. Enlarge this and let's see. This should look a little better. Enlarge it. Oh, that looks way better.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks way better. That looks good on the camera as well?
Really good.
Read that, just to highlight.
Esau became the father of the Edomites who lived south of the Dead Sea. Jacob became one of Israel's 3 founding fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
He became one of Israel's 3 founding fathers and the father of the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Esau became the father of the Edomites who lived south of the Dead Sea. Go over. It's a map. You see the Dead Sea. You got the Dead Sea. Run your mouse over there. Dead Sea. Now, when you go south, you get Edom, Esau. Go south. That means go down. Just go down. You get Edom, Esau. See, they live south of the Dead Sea. Go over. Enlarge this map. Bring it back a little bit. All right, go down. See the Dead Sea again.
Keep going.
Now keep going. Yep, go south. Scroll down. Like, actually bring it down. Bring the map down, yeah. Oh, see Edom, south of the Dead Sea. So they live south of the Dead Sea. Esau, who became the father of the Edomites.
Mount Seir.
Yeah, the Edomites. Esau, his name was changed to Edom. Changed to Edom. Hey, get that about his name being changed to Edom. Genesis 25 and 30. Let me get that real quick.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, in verse 30.
Read.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
Read.
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Therefore was his name called Edom. His name was called Edom. And in this Bible I got right here, at the annotation next to Edom, it's the letter T, and it says, that is red. That is red. Give me Genesis 36 about him being the father of the Edomites. 36 and was it 8?
Yes. The book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. Remember, Esau was also called Edom. Read.
And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
Esau, Edom, is the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Esau, Edom, is the father of the Edomites. Give me the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 13. Let me get 2nd Ezra 3 and verse 13.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 13. Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham.
Whose name was Abraham. Abraham was chosen of God. Read.
Him thou lovest.
God loved Abraham. Read.
And unto him only thou showedest thy will.
And God showed Abraham his will. Read.
And madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed.
Keep going.
And unto him thou gavest Isaac.
To Abraham, God gave Isaac. Read.
And unto Isaac.
And to Isaac.
Also thou gavest Jacob and Esau.
And to Isaac he gave Jacob and Esau. Read.
As for Jacob.
As for Jacob.
Thou didst choose him.
No, Rebekah chose him.
Thou didst choose him.
No, Jacob chose himself.
Thou didst choose him.
God is the one who chose Jacob. Yo, the Lord is the one who chose Jacob. Read.
And put by Esau.
And he put Esau by, meaning he set him aside. He put him away. He did not choose Esau. He didn't choose Esau. Doesn't matter what Isaac wanted to choose. He didn't choose Esau. Keep going.
And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Jacob became a great multitude. Esau, on the other hand, not so much. Give me that in Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 2. Obadiah verses 1 and 2.
The book of Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
Concerning who?
Concerning Edom.
Concerning Edom. Esau, the Edomites. Read.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye,
Read.
and let us rise up against her in battle.
Here we go.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Edom is greatly despised among the heathen. The heathen hate Edom. Real talk. And Edom is small among the heathens. See, Jacob became great. A great multitude. Esau, Edom, not so much. Not so much. They were made small among the heathen. Whether you believe it or not, Edom, that is the smallest nation among the heathen. And everywhere they are, they're small among the heathen, among the nations. Give me the book of Genesis 27 and verse 26. I want to talk about the blessings. Remember, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come, concerning the future of the world, which is their future. So I want to talk about the blessings. Give me Genesis 27:26.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 26.
Read.
And Isaac and his father Isaac said unto him.
Now this is Isaac speaking to Jacob, thinking that he's speaking to Esau. Read again.
And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son.
Read.
And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment.
Read.
And blessed him and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed.
Read.
They don't use a washcloth.
Good point out. Good point out. Keep going.
Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth,
Read.
and plenty of corn and wine.
He said, and plenty of corn and wine. This is how Isaac blessed Jacob. Concerning what? Things to come. Concerning the future. His future, yo. His future. Hey, give me the book. We'll come back here. Give me Deuteronomy 33:1. Because it said, what did he say? He said, therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth, plenty of corn and wine. Deuteronomy 33, let's start at 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 1.
Read.
And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death.
Read.
And he said, The Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran. And he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them.
Now you may think that Moses is just reciting the history. Reciting history. But no, Moses is prophesying about the future. He's talking about the return of the Lord. And what gives it away is when he said the Lord is returning with the 10,000s of his saints. You know, I looked into a Christian commentary, right? And it said the 10,000s of his saints are the angels. The angels in heaven. Get the saints real quick. Yo. In Christianity, they have no understanding, man. They have no understanding. If you still go to the Christian church, my advice is get out. Run! Treat the Christian church like a white woman. Remember Jordan's Pills movie and get out. You're gonna die in that jank, yo. They're gonna take your body. Real talk, you're gonna be in a sunken place. Hey, read this real quick.
Book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people.
Read.
The praise of all his saints.
The praise of all his saints.
Even of the children of Israel.
Finish the verse.
A people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord.
So God's people are his saints. His saints are his people. It's the Israelites. It's the people of Israel. We are the saints of God, Joe. So when he say he's coming back with the tens of thousands of his saints, he's talking about he's coming back with the tens of thousands of the Israelites.
That's right.
Which would be the 144,000. But before we get to that, give me Jude verse 14. Jude verse 14.
The book of Jude, verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying,
Saying what?
Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints.
The Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. That's talking about the 144,000 men of Israel, yo. See, 144,000, those are tens of thousands. Those are tens of thousands. Hey, hold this. Give me Revelation 7 and 4. About the 144 real quick.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
Read.
And they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel. It's 12,000 from each tribe, yo. 12,000 would be tens of thousands. It would be in the tens of thousands category. So when we go back to the book of Jude, verse 14.
Jude, verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints.
He's coming with the 144,000. That's what it's saying, yo. The 144,000 will be with the Lord when he returns. Read.
Verse 15. To execute judgment upon all.
And that's what he's returning to do. He's coming back to execute judgment on the world. I mean, judgment over all. Read.
And to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
Which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. And you know how the Lord is going to convince the ungodly of all their ungodly deeds? With their own ungodly deeds. Their sins are going to convince them. Give me that in Wisdom of Solomon 4:20. He's going to use their sins, their own sins, to convince them to their faces. Read this real quick.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 and verse 20. When they cast up the accounts of their sins.
When they cast up the accounts of their sins. This is on Judgment Day, read.
They shall come with fear.
They're going to come with fear. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. It's going to be a fearful thing to do. Read.
And their own iniquities.
And their own iniquities. Iniquities of sins. Read.
Shall convince
them.
Shall what? Shall convince them.
Shall convince them. Read.
To their face.
This is how the Lord is going to convince the ungodly of all their ungodly deeds. It's with their own ungodly deeds. Their own iniquities will convince them to their face show. To their face. Let's go back to do. You got something? Yeah. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men.
And when he brings your sins forth, you're going to be ashamed. When he convinces you of your ungodly deeds, you're going to be ashamed. Read.
And your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
And your own sins will be your accusers in that day. They will convince you to your face. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 33 and verse 26. Deuteronomy 33 is about the last days and the return of the Messiah and the rule of Israel, yo. Real talk. But we're not about to go through all of Deuteronomy 33. Give me Deuteronomy 33 and 26. Oh, matter of fact, hold on. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. Deuteronomy 33 and 26.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 26.
Read.
There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun.
There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun. The God of Jeshurun, the God of Israel. Jeshurun is just another name for Israel. Give me that in Isaiah 44. Isaiah 44, I want to read 1 and 2.
The book of Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 1.
Read.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
And Israel, whom I have chosen. The chosen of God, Israel. Read.
Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb,
Read.
Which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob.
Fear not, O Jacob.
My servant.
My servant.
And thou, Jeshurun.
And thou, Jeshurun.
Whom I have chosen.
Whom I have chosen. In verse 2, he's calling the chosen Jeshurun. But in verse 1, who did he call the chosen? Israel.
This shows you that Jeshurun is just another name
for Israel. Go to my next folder. I need that real quick. X out of this. Back out. Yeah. Number 3. Pull up this definition real quick. Definition of Jeshurun.
Supremely happy.
We straight? Read that for me.
Jeshurun, supremely happy. And once by mistake, an authorized version, Jeshurun.
They say by mistake.
That's what they say, but keep going.
Isaiah 44 verse 2. A symbolical name for Israel in Deuteronomy 32 in verse 15.
See, it's a name for Israel, another name for Israel. Right?
Deuteronomy 33 verse 5 through 20 and 26. Isaiah 44 verse 2. It is most probably derived from a root signifying to be blessed, with the intrusive termination, Jeshurun, would then denote Israel as supremely happy or prosperous.
It's an intensive termination.
Intensive termination. Jeshurun would then denote Israel as supremely happy
or prosperous.
And to this signification, the context in Deuteronomy 32 verse 15 points.
Yeah. Hey, you see that? So the name Jeshurun is another name for Israel. The name Jeshurun means supremely happy, yo. Supremely happy. Real talk. That's why the Bible says, happy is the nation whose Lord is God. Matter of fact, let me find that real quick. Let me find that real fast.
Yeah.
Just pop my mind.
Psalms 137?
Is it Psalm 137?
I think so. Maybe Psalm 144 actually. Yep.
Bring that out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 144, verse 15. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose God is the Lord.
That people is the Israelites, man. Jeshurun.
That's who it's talking about. All praises for that. Go back to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and read 26 again.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 26.
Read.
There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun.
There is no God like the God of Israel. Read.
Who rideth upon the heaven in thy help.
He rides upon the heavens. He's our help. Read.
And his excellency on the sky.
Read.
The eternal God is thy refuge. And underneath are the everlasting arms.
Read.
And he shall thrust out the enemy.
And he shall thrust out the enemy. God shall thrust out the enemy. Read.
From before thee.
From before thee. Read.
And shall say, destroy them.
And shall say what?
Destroy them.
And shall say, destroy them. The Lord is going to tell the Israelites, destroy the enemy. Destroy the nations. Because that's the enemy. Hold this. Give me that in Numbers 24 and 8. Numbers 24 and 8 about the nations being the enemy and about how we're going to destroy them.
The book of Numbers chapter 24 and verse 8. God brought him forth out of Egypt. He had as it were the strength of a unicorn.
Hey, this is the mad prophet Balaam, yo. He's prophesying about a future event, yo. He's prophesying about a future event. Read it again from the top.
Verse 8. God brought him forth out of Egypt.
This is not talking about ancient Egypt either. He's prophesying about the deliverance from Mystery Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Egypt. But keep going.
He had as it were the strength of a unicorn.
He's going to bring us out with the strength of a unicorn. Read.
He shall eat up the nations, his enemies.
And when he does, we are going to eat up the nations. Our enemies. Our enemies are the nations. Read.
And shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows.
We're going to destroy them. Give me that in Jeremiah 51 and 19. We are going to destroy them. When the Lord say destroy them, we are going to destroy them, yo. Real talk. Jeremiah 51, 19.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them.
That portion of Jacob is a remnant of Jacob. Read.
For he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Read.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read.
Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
God said Israel is his battle axe, his weapons of war. Read.
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
And what?
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
He's saying, with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So when the Lord says destroy, we're going to destroy. We're going to destroy kingdoms, yo. Kingdoms. Go back, yo. Go back. Deuteronomy 33, and we was in verse 27 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 27. The eternal God is thy refuge.
Read.
And underneath are the everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy.
The Lord is going to thrust out the enemy. Read.
From before thee.
From before us. Read.
And shall say.
It shall say what?
Destroy them.
He's going to tell Israel, destroy them. Destroy the enemy. Destroy the nations. The kingdoms. Read.
Israel then shall dwell in safety alone.
Then, when the Lord drives out the enemy, when the Lord says, destroy them, then the Israelites will dwell in safety alone. Alone. Read.
The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine.
Shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Didn't Isaac bless Jacob with plenty of corn and wine?
Yep.
You know when that blessing takes place? In the kingdom. In the kingdom. We're going to stay upon our land. What it says? Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Read.
Also his heavens shall drop down dew.
Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Read.
Happy art thou, O Israel.
This is why Israel is called Jeshurun. Because Israel is happy. Happy art thou, O Israel. Read.
Who is like unto thee?
Nobody. Read.
O people saved by the Lord.
There's no people that's like unto Israel. There's no people like Jacob, yo. No people like us. Read.
The shield of thy help. And who is the sword of thy excellency?
The Lord. Read.
And thy enemies.
And our enemies.
Shall be found liars.
Shall be found what?
Shall be found liars.
Read.
Unto thee.
Read.
And thou shalt tread upon their high places.
Yeah, because we're going to destroy them. We're going to destroy them, so we will tread upon their high places. Upon their high places. Hey, go from there. Give me the book of Numbers chapter 23. Numbers chapter 23 and verse 7. Let me get that.
The book of Numbers chapter 23 and verse 7. And he took up his parable and said, Balak.
Oh, this is Balaam. Balaam is giving another parable. Jump up to 5.
Verse 5. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said,
What do you say?
Return unto Balak, and thus thou shalt speak. And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable, and said,
What do you say?
Balak, the king of Moab, hath brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. Defy Israel. Sorry. How shall I curse whom God have not cursed?
How can I curse whom God have not cursed?
Or how shall I defy whom the Lord have not defiled?
Defied. How can I defy who the Lord has not defied? Read.
For from the top of the rocks I see him.
Read.
And from the hills I behold him.
Read.
Lo, the people shall dwell alone.
Lo, the people of Israel shall dwell alone. Read.
And shall not be reckoned among the nations.
It shall not be reckoned among the nations. So when he said the people of Israel are going to dwell alone, what is he saying? He's saying the people of Israel are not going to be reckoned among the nations. The people of Israel are not going to be counted among the nations. Why? Because the people of Israel are going to be separated from the nations. The people of Israel are going to be set apart from the nations. Yo, give me Exodus 33 and 14. Exodus chapter 33 and 14.
The book of Exodus chapter 33 and verse 14.
Read.
And he said, My presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest.
This is the Lord speaking to Moses. Read it one more time.
Verse 14. And he said, My presence shall go with thee,
Read.
and I will give thee rest.
He said, and I will give thee rest. I will give thee rest. And the rest that he's talking about is the kingdom. It's talking about the kingdom. It's talking about everlasting rest. I know you might be thinking about, he's talking about them going into the promised land at that time. No. Wasn't no rest at that time. There were wars in Canaan, man. What are you talking about rest? It's not talking about that time, man. Hey, matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 12 and 9 real quick. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 9.
Read.
For ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which the Lord your God giveth you.
So us going into the promised land at that time, that wasn't the rest or the inheritance that our Lord, our God has promised us. No. This rest that he's promised us is an everlasting rest. It's the kingdom. And you know when it takes place? You know when we get it? When the Lord returns.
That's right.
Give me that real quick in 2nd Ezra chapter 2. I want 33 and 34. 2nd Ezra chapter 2, 33 and 34.
2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 33. I, Ezra, received a charge of the Lord upon the Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel.
Read.
But when I came unto them, they set me at naught.
We sat Ezra at naught. The same way we did all the prophets, starting with Moses. But keep going.
And despised the commandment of the Lord. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen.
O ye what?
O ye heathen.
What is God calling the Israelites here in this verse?
Heathen.
The heathen, yo. The heathen. See, sometimes when you read the word heathen in the Bible, it's referring to the Israelites. The Christian church, the church of Christianity, they haven't come to that wisdom yet. They haven't come to that knowledge and understanding yet. But keep going.
That hear.
Read it one more time.
Verse 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand.
O ye heathen, you among the Israelites that can hear and understand. Meaning y'all that have ears to hear. See, if you have ears to hear, that means you can understand. So this is for you. Read.
Look for your shepherd.
Look for your shepherd.
He shall give you everlasting rest.
He shall give you what?
He shall give you everlasting rest.
He shall give you everlasting rest. So that everlasting rest is that rest that Moses was talking about in Exodus 33. Excuse me. That rest that the Lord was talking about in Exodus 33. It's an everlasting rest. It's the kingdom. Finish the verse.
For he is nigh at hand.
He's nigh at hand.
That shall come in the end of the world.
That shall come in the end of the world. Hey, Hebrews 13 and 20 about our shepherd. Hey, you give me, matter of fact, you give me Hebrews 13 and 20. You give me the book of John chapter 10, start at 11. Give me St. John 10 and 11 first.
Book of St. John chapter 10 and verse 11. I am the good shepherd.
This is Christ speaking about himself. What did he say?
I am the good shepherd.
I am the good shepherd. Our shepherd is the Christ. Read.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Jump down to 14.
Verse 14. I am the good shepherd.
He said it again. Talking about himself. He said, I am the good shepherd. Read.
And know my sheep, and am known of mine.
Is that it?
Yes.
Hebrews 13 and 20.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Now the God of peace that brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus.
Read.
That great shepherd.
That what?
That great shepherd.
That great shepherd. Our Lord Jesus the Christ is that great shepherd. That is our shepherd. And if you're an Israelite, that's your shepherd, Joe. Read.
That great shepherd of the sheep, through the blood of the everlasting covenant.
Through the blood of the everlasting covenant. Let's go back to Exodus 33 and 14. Because we already talked about this rest in the previous class, so I ain't about to go all through it.
The book of Exodus chapter 33 and verse 14. And he said, my presence shall go with thee.
This is the Lord speaking to Moses. He said, his presence shall go with thee. Read.
And I will give thee rest.
He said, and I will give you rest. If you have ears to hear, you know who this I is. Yo. He said, and I will give you rest. Read.
And he said unto him.
And he said unto him, Moses said unto the Lord, read.
If thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence.
If your presence doesn't go with me, don't take us up hence. Read.
For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people,
and God's people, which are the Israelite people, read,
have found grace in thy sight.
Have found grace in your sight, Lord. Read.
Is it not in that thou goest with us?
Read.
So shall we be separate.
So shall we be what?
So shall we be separate.
So shall we be separated. Read.
I and thy people.
I and thy people. We are going to be separated. Read.
From all the people.
From who?
From all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
When he said Israel would dwell safely alone, when he said Israel would not be reckoned among the nations, what is he saying? He's saying Israel is going to be separated. Israel is going to be separate from all the nations, yo. Set apart from all the nations. Israel is going to be holy, yo.
That's right.
Israel is going to be holy in that day. Hey, give me Micah 5. Micah 5 and 7.
The book of Micah chapter 5 and verse 7.
Read.
And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from the Lord.
And the remnant of Jacob. The remnant of Jacob is talking about the remnant of Israel that is saved from the destruction that's coming to this earth, yo. The remnant of Jacob, the remnant of Israel that was saved from destruction shall be what?
Shall be as a dew from the Lord.
Oh, matter of fact, read it from the top one more time.
Verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people.
Shall be in the midst of many people, yo. In the midst of many people, what? Alone. Set apart, yo. Separated. Jacob, the remnant of Israel, will be in the midst of many people, set apart from the many people. Separated from the many people. Alone. Keep going.
As a dew from the Lord.
As a dew from the Lord.
As the showers upon the grass. That tarrieth not for man.
Keep reading.
Nor waiteth for the sons of men.
Keep reading. I just like this verse. Read.
And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people. As a lion.
As a what?
As a lion.
Read.
Among the beasts of the forest.
We're going to dwell like lions in among the beasts of the forest. Lord's will, we are counted of that number. Counted worthy to obtain that next world. We will live like lions among the beasts of the forest. Read.
As a young lion among the flocks of sheep.
We will be like young lions among flocks of sheep. Read.
Who, if he go through.
If he decides to go through.
Both treadeth down.
Both treadeth down.
And teareth in pieces.
And teareth in pieces.
And none can deliver.
And none can deliver. Next verse.
Verse 9. Thy hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries.
Upon thine adversaries. Our adversaries, our enemies.
That's right.
The nations. Read.
And all thine enemies.
And all of our enemies, all of our adversaries, the nations, read.
Shall be cut off.
Shall be cut off. They are going to be cut off, yo. Let's go back to Genesis 27:29. Genesis 27 and 29.
The book of Genesis chapter 20.
Start at 28.
The book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 28. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth.
And of the fatness of the earth, read.
And plenty of corn and wine.
And plenty of corn and wine, read.
Let the people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Let the people serve thee. Let nations bow down to thee, read.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesses thee, Jacob. Everyone that blesses you, Jacob. So nations will bow down to Jacob. People will serve Jacob. And it starts with the kings and the queens of these nations. The elites of these nations. Give me that at Isaiah 49 and 22. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 22. Let me get that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 22.
Read.
And thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms.
They're going to bring our sons in their arms.
And thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders.
They're going to carry our daughters over their shoulders. Read.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers.
And kings shall serve thee. Kings will be your servants. Your nursing fathers. Read.
And their queens.
And their queens.
Thy nursing mothers.
And their queens shall serve thee. The queens shall be servants. Nursing mothers. Read.
They shall bow down.
They shall what?
They shall bow down to thee.
They shall bow themselves down. The kings, the queens of these nations, the elites of these nations, they are going to bow down. Bow down to who? Jacob. They're going to bow down to Jacob. Read.
With their face toward the earth.
With their face towards the earth.
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
And lick up the dust of our feet. Is that it?
No.
Finish it out.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
So the people are going to serve. The nations are going to bow down, starting with their kings and their queens, their elite, the 1%. They are going to bow down and they are going to lick up the dust of our feet. And it's talking about all nations. All nations. Give me that real quick in Micah 5. Micah 7, start at 15. Micah 7 and verse 15.
The book of Micah chapter 7 and verse 15. According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things.
Will I show unto him marvelous things. The Lord is about to smite places like Babylon with plagues like he did to ancient Egypt, He's about to do the same thing in places like Babylon and all throughout the earth that he did in Egypt. Matter of fact, but before we move on, give me that in 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15 and 10. I want to show that real quick.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
Read.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
To dwell in the land of Egypt. This is not talking about ancient Egypt. This is talking about the United States of America, which the Bible calls Mystery Babylon the Great. That great city, which is spiritually called Egypt. Give me that real quick. Give me that. I know I loosely paraphrased it, but let's read it anyway.
The book of Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Stop. Get the great city real quick, what the great city is. He said their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city. What is the great city? Read that.
The book of Revelation chapter 14 verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And there follow another angel, saying,
Saying what?
Babylon is fallen.
Babylon is fallen.
It's fallen.
It's fallen.
That great city.
That great city. The great city is Babylon. Mystery Babylon the Great. Finish the verse.
Because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Hey, go back.
The book of Revelation chapter 11 verse 8.
Read.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Mystery Babylon the Great, which we know today as the United States of America. Their dead bodies, talking about the Israelites, shall lie in the streets of the great city. Read.
Which spiritually it's called Sodom.
It's called Sodom
and Egypt.
And what?
And Egypt.
See, this great city is Egypt. Babylon is Egypt. America is Egypt. Finish the verse.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
Jump down to 11.
Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from God entered into them.
The Spirit of life from God entered into the Israelites here in the great city in Egypt. Babylon, read.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Keep going.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying,
Saying what?
Unto them, Come up hither.
Come up hither.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
What just took place right here? Deliverance. Deliverance is what just took place right here.
Let's go back to 2 Ezra 15, verse 10 again.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
The Israelites are led as a flock to the slaughter. Read.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
This is the Egypt here, the United States of America. Mystery Babylon the Great. This is talking about spiritual Egypt. That place called spiritually, that place spiritually called Egypt. Read.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm.
What is that talking about? Deliverance. He said he's going to deliver his people from where? From Egypt. We just read that in Revelation chapter 11. 11 and 12. Same exact thing. But keep going.
And smite Egypt with plagues.
And he's going to do what?
And smite Egypt with plagues as before.
And he's going to smite Egypt with plagues like he did before. Like he did to Egypt in times past. He's going to smite this place with plagues. Read.
And will destroy all the land thereof.
And he's going to destroy all of Egypt. This is how you know it's not talking about ancient Egypt, yo. He didn't destroy all of ancient Egypt. That's why we still see pyramids and obelisks out there in ancient Egypt.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, and Egyptian hieroglyphics out there in ancient Egypt. This is why they can still dig up mummies in ancient Egypt and put them in white museums.
Because they haven't destroyed. Ancient Egypt was not destroyed. Ancient Egypt's going to be there in the future.
Give me that real quick about ancient Egypt's going to be there in the future in Zechariah 14. Zechariah chapter 14 real quick. You know what I want?
In verse 21.
Okay, hold up. Let me get there real fast.
Verse 18.
Is that it?
Yeah. It says, the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 18.
Nope, start at 16.
Verse 16, all right. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations.
That every one that is left of all the nations. Just like when destruction comes, there will only be a remnant of Jacob left. It's the same thing with all the other nations. When destruction comes, there will only be a remnant of the other nations left. When destruction comes, there will only be a remnant of Edom. There will only be a remnant of Moab. There will only be a remnant of Ham. There will only be a remnant of Ammon. There will only be a remnant of these nations that will survive, that will be saved from this destruction. Only a remnant. Read it again.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
Read.
And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, they have no rain.
This is how you know that when we read in 2 Ezra 15:11, when he said he's going to destroy all of Egypt, it wasn't talking about ancient Egypt. Yo. Ancient Egypt's still going to be there. It's still going to be there. How do we know? God said if they don't come up, there won't be any land where? In Egypt. If the Egyptians don't come up to worship the Lord, there will be no rain where? In Egypt. That means all of Egypt, ancient Egypt, Egypt like we know it today, will not be destroyed. But finish the verse.
And there shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read.
Verse 19. This shall be the punishment of Egypt.
The punishment of what?
This shall be the punishment of Egypt. And the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So when Ezra was talking to us about Egypt being totally destroyed, completely and utterly destroyed, he wasn't talking about ancient Egypt. He's talking about spiritual Egypt. Babylon the Great. The United States of America. This is the place that's prophesied to be utterly burned with fire, right? Mm-hmm. Completely destroyed, right? This is that place that's prophesied about. Hey, but these plagues, because we read about the plagues coming to Babylon, they're not just coming to Egypt. They're not just coming to the United States of America. They're coming to the earth in its entirety. Give me that real quick in Revelation 15:1. Let me get Revelations 15:1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 15 and verse 1.
Read.
And I saw another sign in heaven.
Read that again.
And I saw another sign in heaven.
Remember, the title of the class is 2 Wonders, 1 Sign in Heaven, yo. This right here is the third wonder that John the Revelator saw in heaven. The third sign that John the Revelator saw in heaven. Remember, a wonder is a sign. A sign is a wonder. Read it again.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of God.
He saw the 7 angels holding the 7 last plagues, which is the wrath of God. And these plagues are coming on the earth in its entirety. Give me chapter 16 and verse 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth.
And pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. These 7 vials hold the 7 last plagues of God. These things are coming to the earth in its entirety, yo. You got something you want to say?
No.
Hey, let's go back. Let's go back to Micah chapter 7. Micah chapter 7 and verse 15.
The book of Micah chapter 7 and verse 15. According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things.
The Lord's going to show marvelous things. He's going to do in this earth today what he did in Egypt in ancient times. He's bringing plagues. Plagues to this earth, yo. Read. And those plagues are going to be marvelous things. Keep going.
The nations shall see.
The nations shall see these plagues, these marvelous things. Read.
And be confounded at all their might.
And they're going to be confounded when they see them. And they're going to be confounded at all the might. Meaning at how powerful these plagues of God are. How mighty these plagues of God are. Read.
They shall lay their hand upon their mouth.
Read.
Their ears shall be deaf.
Their ears shall be deaf, meaning they won't have ears to hear. Meaning they won't what? They won't be able to understand. They will not be able to understand. Keep reading.
They shall lick the dust like a serpent.
They shall lick the dust like a serpent. Who is he talking about? The nations. The nations. They are going to lick the dust. Just like a serpent, yo. Just like the serpent. What serpent is he talking about? Snake. Oh, he's talking about Edom. He's talking about Edom. Remember we read earlier that great red dragon? That old serpent called the devil, called Satan. Real talk. That's who he's talking about. He said the nations, they're going to lick up dust just like that serpent. Because that serpent, Edom, is also going to lick up dust in the kingdom. Finish the verse.
They shall move out of their holes like worms.
Hey, matter of fact, hold up. I just thought about something. Give me the curse of the Satan. The curse of the serpent. I said the curse of the Satan. Which I guess that applies too, because the serpent is Satan. Hey, give me the curse of the serpent in Genesis chapter 3. What is it, 14?
Yes. The book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent.
What did he say?
Because thou hast done this.
Because thou hast done this, read.
Thou art cursed above all cattle.
This is Edom. Edom is cursed above all cattle, above all nations, read.
And above every beast of the field.
And above all beasts, above every beast of the field, meaning cursed above all nations, read.
Upon thy belly shalt thou go.
Here we go.
And dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
That's Edom for you right there. And guess who else is going to eat dust with him? All the nations. Go back to Micah chapter 7 in case y'all forgot. Micah chapter 7 and verse 17.
The book of Micah chapter 7 and verse 17.
Read.
They shall lick the dust like a serpent.
Who? The nations. All the nations. They shall lick up dust like a serpent. Who's the serpent? Edom. Esau. The Edomites. Read.
They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth.
They're going to move out of their holes like worms of the earth.
They shall be afraid of the Lord our God, and shall fear because of thee.
So he said they're going to move out of the holes like worms, yo. What holes? Those bunkers. Those doomsday bunkers and shelters that they're building for themselves right now. Especially the wealthy. I know you heard about that. Give me folder number 4. Give me my 4th folder. Yeah, we play up the video first. I think we played this video in the last class. We're going to play it again. We straight? Play that for me.
The apocalypse or something is about to happen because a whole bunch of billionaires are building underground bunkers right now. Now, no one's been talking about this because the billionaires don't even want any of us to know that they're doing this, and that's why it's really suspicious. Mark Zuckerberg just spent $100 million on his bunker in his Hawaii home. And he even had his workers sign contracts to promise that they weren't going to say anything about it. The co-founder of PayPal is making plans to build a bunker. Even Elon Musk allegedly is talking about trying to build a bunker. Like, all of these billionaires collectively are trying to build bunkers, and they don't want any of the public to know about it. It's being alleged that 15 different billionaires are building bunkers right now or already have a bunker built. So now everyone's like, all these wars are going on, like the world just kind of seems like it's like getting close to like ending or something. What do they know that the rest of us don't know? So what do y'all make of this? Because do you think it's a coincidence that 15 different billionaires are all building bunkers right now? Or do you think that this is one big conspiracy theory and everyone's just being crazy? Let me know in the comments, because it feels like...
What do they know that we don't know? They know that the times are short. They know times are short. Go over. Why are billionaires building doomsday bunkers? Should we also prepare ourselves? If yes, how? Go over.
Become a billionaire.
yeah, I guess for them, right? Become a billionaire for them. Read.
I'm going to keep the laws.
I'm going to keep the commandments in the faith of Christ too.
That's right.
Have you heard about billionaires building doomsday bunkers? It's making people wonder if something big is coming. There's a lot happening worldwide, but the question remains: is doomsday really on the horizon? Salakia. Big tech guys seem to think so, spending a ton on swanky hideouts. On swanky hideouts.
Go over. Hold up. I don't care about this. Go over. Yeah, read that.
Why are billionaires building doomsday bunkers? The talk about 15 billionaires building doomsday bunkers has stirred conversations, but there's no solid proof.
There's no solid proof that 15 billionaires are building doomsday bunkers.
No, because more.
Yeah, that's a fact. Keep going.
In a revealing chat with Douglas Rushkoff, 5 wealthy individuals shared concerns about the future, emphasizing the need to retain
security personnel during tough times. It says while Peter Thiel, I don't care if I pronounce his name right or not, he's not important, is waiting for permission for his New Zealand bunker, Elon Musk's plans remain uncertain, possibly involving Mars if given a chance. If he thinks he's going to Mars, it's not going to happen. Or as these elites plan their underground escapes, the rest of us ponder the future. See, these elites, these billionaires, they think they can escape God's wrath, hiding underground, hiding in these bunkers, but you can't. Go over. Let me see here. Go over. I don't care about that. Go over again. Over. Okay. Zuckerberg is only one of the billionaires building doomsday bunkers. While Zuckerberg may be leading the pack, he's not alone in having a secret getaway plan. Metro discloses that Peter Thiel, the PayPal magnate, is working on his own bunker-style refuge in New Zealand, possibly sharing it with Sam Altman from OpenAI in a revealing meeting with Douglas Rushkoff. 5 other wealthy individuals hinted at their desire for secret safe spots. Go over. That's it. That was it. So as you can see, these billionaires, the elite, they're building bunkers for doomsday, for the day of doom. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 19. Isaiah 2 and 19. Let me get that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth.
And they shall go into the holes of the rock, and into the caves of the earth. What is this talking about? Doomsday shelters. Doomsday bunkers. That's what this is talking about. Read it again.
And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord.
For what?
For fear of the Lord.
The reason why they're building these bunkers, these doomsday shelters, is because of fear. They fear the Lord, Joe. They fear the Lord. Read.
And for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
When he arises to shake terribly the earth. Read.
And that day a man shall cast his idols of silver.
Read.
And his idols of gold.
And his idols of gold.
Which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats.
Your riches will not save you in this day. Your money, your silver, your gold, they will not save you in this day. Riches don't profit in the day of wrath, in the day of God's wrath. Give me that real quick in Proverbs 11 and 4. Give me that. Riches do not profit in the day of God's wrath.
The book of Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath.
Riches do not profit in the day of wrath. Whose wrath? In the day of God's wrath. Silver and gold will not profit you. Read.
But in that day.
But righteousness delivereth from death.
Righteousness is what delivers from death. Give me Job. Job 36 and 17. Job 36 and 17. And I want to read down to 19.
The book of Job 36 and verse 17. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked.
Read.
Judgment and justice take hold on thee.
Uh-huh.
Because there is wrath. Beware lest he take thee away with his stroke.
Read.
Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee.
Then a great ransom cannot deliver you. Read.
Will he esteem thy riches?
Do you think God will esteem your riches? Read.
No.
The answer is no. Matter of fact, it's hell no. God will not esteem your riches. Read.
Not gold.
Not gold.
Nor all the forces of strength.
Nor all the forces of strength. See, riches do not profit in the day of wrath. In the day of God's wrath, riches will not profit you. Give me that one in, Zephaniah chapter 1 in the last verse. We read it in the last class. Zephaniah 1 in the last verse. Let me get that real quick.
The book of Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Mm-hmm. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy.
Read.
For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Silver and gold shall not be able to deliver in the day of the Lord's wrath. Yo, and I don't care how much silver and gold you have. It will not deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. The rich, they think they can be delivered. But that's just a thought. That's just a thought. They're not that bright. Let's go back to the book of Isaiah chapter 2. You think they're bright because they have billions of dollars. But they're not that bright. Isaiah 2 and 20 again.
The book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 20. And that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats.
To the moles and to the bats. Read.
To go into the clefts of the rocks.
Go into the cliffs of the rocks. Read.
And into the tops of the ragged rocks.
And you know what's in the clefts of the rocks? You know what's at the top of the ragged rocks? Bunkers. Doomsday bunkers. Doomsday shelters. Yo. They also build those things in mountains. Real talk. Read. Like the Cheyenne Mountains. Read.
For fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
Revelation 6, because it says the same thing here. Revelation chapter 6, and I want verse 15.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men,
and the rich men,
and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks of the mountains.
They hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. What is this talking about? Doomsday shelters. Doomsday bunkers. Keep going.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
And that's why they're in these bunkers. It's to hide from the face of him that sits on the throne. That's the Christ. Read.
And from the wrath of the Lamb.
And it's to hide from the wrath of the Lamb. That's the Christ. Read.
Verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come.
And we know it's on its way. Read.
And who shall be able to stand?
And who shall be able to stand? So they're building these bunkers. They're planning to hide and escape from the wrath of the Lamb. From the Lord. That's what they're planning. But there is no hiding from the Lord. There is no escape from destruction. Not this destruction that's coming. Give me Jeremiah chapter 16, start at 14.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From the land of the north. The land of the north, the United States of America. Mystery Babylon the Great. Read.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them.
The Lord is going to bring us back from all the lands in which we were made to serve. Read.
And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Read.
Behold, I will send forth many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them.
That's today. We're the fishers today. Outside fishing. Read.
And after will I send forth many hunters.
He said, but afterwards I'm going to send forth many hunters. Read.
And they shall hunt them.
And they shall hunt them
from every mountain.
From every mountain.
And from every hill.
And from every hill.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
And out of the holes of the rocks. Read.
For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face.
See, they think they can hide from the Lord. But there's no hiding from the Lord. Nothing is hidden from his face. Nothing is hidden from his face. Nothing. Not even their undisclosed locations. Their undisclosed bunkers. Doomsday shelters. The Lord sees them all. Read.
Neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes.
Read.
And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double.
What?
Double.
He said he's going to recompense their iniquity and their sin double. Read.
Because they have defiled my land.
Because they defiled the land, starting with Jerusalem, the lands of Israel, but continuing with the earth in its entirety. Read.
They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things.
Of their detestable and abominable things, yo. Jeremiah 49 and 10. Jeremiah 49 and 10.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places.
He said, I have uncovered his secret places, yo. Esau has secret places. Some of those secret places are doomsday shelters, doomsday bunkers. The Lord said he has uncovered all those things, man. He's uncovered all those things. Read.
And he shall not be able to hide himself.
He will not be able to hide himself from the Lamb and from the wrath of the Lamb. Read.
His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
And he is not. And he is not. Now, give me Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah chapter 60, because remember, we were talking about nations bowing down to Jacob. People serving Jacob. Isaiah 60 and 12.
Book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Shall what?
Shall perish.
The nation, the kingdom that will not serve Jacob will perish. Read.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
They will be completely, totally destroyed, Joe. Totally destroyed. When is this talking about? In the kingdom. In the kingdom of heaven, yo. In the kingdom of heaven. Jump up to verse 11 to show that.
Verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be opened continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be bought.
And that their kings may be bought. This is how you know it's talking about the kingdom. Because this same thing was said in Revelations, yo. In the book of Revelations. Let me get that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, and verse 24. And
start at 23 for me.
Verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it.
And the city that is talking about is that holy city, New Jerusalem. Jump up to verse 2.
Verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So this city is that holy city, New Jerusalem. Let's jump back down to 23.
Verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it.
Why?
For the glory of God did lighten it.
Christ.
And the Lamb is the light thereof.
Christ. Read.
And the nations of them which are saved.
And the nations of them which are saved. It's talking about the remnants of the nations that are saved from the destruction that is coming to this earth. That are left behind after the destruction that comes to this earth. Read it again.
And the nations of them that are saved shall walk in the light of it.
Read.
And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it.
And the kings of the earth will bring their glory and their honor into this city. This holy city, New Jerusalem. Read.
And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there.
This is the same thing that is said in Isaiah chapter 60. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 60. You start at verse 11 again for me, though.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be opened continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee.
Oh, matter of fact, start up higher then. What verse did I ask you to start at?
11.
Verse 11.
All right, what? Hold on.
It first we read verse 12, Isaiah 60, 12, and then you said go to 11.
All right. Yeah, let me get there real quick so I can look at it. Because I didn't play myself. Oh, that's it. Go ahead. My fault.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be opened continually. They shall not be shut day nor night.
They shall not be shut day nor night. Remember, there's going to be no night there. This is the same thing it said in Revelation chapter 21. Read.
That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be bought.
Hey, give me that real quick about how their kings are going to be bought in Psalm 149, I think.
Oh, yeah. The book of Psalms, you want to start verse 5? Let the saints be joyful.
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Psalms, the 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. And let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
That two-edged sword, first and foremost, is the Bible. But one day, it's going to be a literal two-edged sword. I just want to put that out there. But keep going.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
To execute vengeance upon the nations.
And punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the heathen.
To bind their kings.
To bind who?
To bind their kings with chains.
We're going to bind their kings, their queens, with chains. Their royalty will be bound in chains. Read.
And their nobles with feathers of iron.
That's how we're going to bring their kings, yo, just in case you wanted to know. It's going to be in chains. It's going to be in chains. The kings, the queens, the princes, the princesses, all their royalty, chains. Their nobles, chains. Let's go back. Isaiah chapter 60 and 11, one more time.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be opened continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be bought.
On chains. Keep going.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee.
For the nation and the kingdom that refuses to serve Jacob, read.
Shall perish.
Shall perish.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Utterly, totally, completely destroyed. When is this going to take place? In the kingdom. In the kingdom of heaven, yo. Real talk. Hey, let's go from there. Let's go to Genesis 27. I want to talk about Esau's blessing now. We went over Jacob's blessing. I want to talk about Esau's blessing now. Genesis chapter 27, and let's start at 38.
The book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?
Read.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth,
Read.
and the dew of heaven from above.
Uh-huh.
And by thy sword, shalt thou live.
Shalt thou live. Esau was blessed with the art of war, yo. The sword. They live by the sword. Read.
And shall serve thy brother.
It shall what?
And shall serve thy brother.
It shall serve thy brother. Jacob, read.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion.
When thou shalt have the dominion.
That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. When would Esau have the dominion? When would Esau have the dominion? Ultimately, it's talking about at the end. It's talking about at the end. And the reason why I say ultimately is because, once again, we know God's judgments are like what?
A ring.
Like a ring. So these things go around and around and around. But ultimately, what we're talking about, what this is talking about, is the end of this world. That's when Esau would have dominion. Give me the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 7 through 9.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first?
When shall be the end of this world?
And the beginning of it that followeth?
And what shall be the beginning of the world to come? Read.
And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
We read that history earlier. When Jacob and Esau were born, Esau was born first, Jacob was born second, holding to the heel of Esau, yo. Read.
For Esau is the end of the world.
And their birth was symbolic for something. It represented something. What did it represent? Read it again.
For Esau is the end of the world.
It represented the end of the world, and what?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And it represented the beginning of the world to come. See, Esau will be ruling at the end of the world. At the end of the world, Esau has their dominion, yo. They have their dominion. And they rule and they live by the sword. They rule and they live by the sword. here in these last days at the end of this world. Give me my next folder real quick. We're going to go ahead and run through this because I want to get it done because we are not doing a part 2. All right, what? There's some time left. I still got a 15-minute grace period, so I'm going to get this knocked out. Esau lives by the sword. Read that. Play this for me.
Weapons held high and massing in the thousands, anger and powerful symbolism on the streets of Yemen's capital. This criminal aggression will not go unpunished or unanswered, said this Houthi military spokesman. Overnight, the U.S. and United Kingdom launched airstrikes on dozens of locations in Yemen, backed by multiple countries, including Canada.
They were bombing Yemen.
For months, Houthi militants have attacked cargo ships passing through the Red Sea. The U.S. and UK strikes are aimed at weakening their ability to do this.
This is an international problem that required an international response.
Says the Pentagon. The U.S. last month warned Houthis to stop. They did not.
And last night there were consequences. No one wants to see a wider regional conflict, but again, we also cannot allow for this kind of dangerous, reckless, and illegal behavior to continue.
Canada's part? No operational assets, but
a supportive role. There are Canadian military involved in some of the Canadian military members involved in some of the planning.
Mr. President, are we in a proxy war with Iran?
Indeed, the larger concern is that it sparks a broader conflict in the region. The Houthis say their attacks are a response to the Israeli war in Gaza against Hamas, which also has close ties to Iran. Iran today condemned the strikes on Yemen. At an event in Pennsylvania, the U.S. president labeled the Houthis terrorists, adding,
"We will make sure that we respond to the Houthis when they continue this outrageous behavior, along with our allies."
Will it work? Will the assaults deter the Houthis? Say some. Unlikely.
Part of the Houthi identity is built on this narrative of resistance against the U.S., against Saudi Arabia and Israel. So this reinforces that narrative. And if anything, it will embolden
right there, man.
So, Paul, if these strikes trigger more attacks in the Red Sea, that could have an impact well beyond.
Stop that. Let me get my next one. So you see the U.S. and the U.K., they have... Go out. The U.S. and the U.K. attacked Yemen. They have attacked Yemen. U.S. and U.K. carry out strikes against Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. Go over. The U.S. and U.K. militaries launched strikes against Houthi targets in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen on Thursday, marking a significant response after the Biden administration and its allies warned that the Iran-backed militant group would bear the consequences of its attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea. U.S. President Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, said he ordered the strikes in direct response to unprecedented Houthi attacks against international maritime vessels in the Red Sea. And the Houthis said that they were doing this because of what Edom did to the Arabs in Gaza. Real talk. Go over. And in case y'all forgot how they did the Arabs in Gaza, in case you didn't know this man lives by the sword, press play. Drone footage shows the destruction in Gaza after days of Israeli airstrikes. Israel says that over 6 days it dropped more than 6,000 bombs onto the Gaza Strip, targeting Hamas command centers, weapons, and fighters. The massive assault came after Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people. The Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 1,500 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. Many were civilians. The Shati refugee camp has also been badly hit. October 12, 2023. Shati camp, Gaza. Drone footage also shows what remains of the Supernova Music Festival site in Israel. October 12, 2023. Where 260 people were killed as they tried to escape Hamas gunmen. These people live by the sword, Joe. Anything else?
We're good. Nope.
X out and go back. Click it again. Oh, yeah, okay, I needed this. So blessing. Remember, Esau was blessed by the sword, to live by the sword. You see right there, it says a beneficial thing is the third point. The third point. A beneficial thing for which one is grateful, something that brings well-being. Similar words: advantage, benefit, help, boon, good thing, God send favor, gift. Esau has the gift of the sword, the gift of war, yo. And they use that thing. They used it in Gaza. They used it in Yemen. Real talk. Hey, give me Matthew chapter 26 and verse 52 real quick about what Christ said about living by the sword. Matthew 26, 52. 26 and 52. Yes, sir.
The book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 52. Then said Jesus unto him, put up again thy sword into his place.
Read.
For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Ultimately, this is talking about Edom, yo. This is talking about Esau, ultimately. They live by the sword, they will die by the sword. This is why they attack Gaza. Now the Houthis are attacking them in their commercial shipping vessels. Real talk. They attacked the Houthis in Yemen. Iran condemned those attacks. They fear Iran getting involved in this war in Yemen, yo. They fear that thing happening, and they know it's a possibility then, because Iran backs the Houthi, yo. Iran backs the Houthi. Give me Sirach chapter 20 and verse 10. Sirach 20 and 10.
The book of Sirach chapter 20 and verse 10. There is a gift that shall not profit thee.
There's a gift that shall not profit thee. Esau has a gift that doesn't profit. Their gift is the gift of the sword, the gift of war. That's what they were blessed with. That's their gift. But watch what it says. Read it again.
There is a gift that shall not profit thee.
There's a gift that shall not profit thee, like the gift of the sword. Read.
And there is a gift whose recompense is double.
And there's a gift whose recompense is double. Esau is going to get double, yo. They are going to get double. Why? Because of how they live. Because of how they live. They live by the sword, men. So they are going to die by the sword. Now, hey, give me Matthew 24 and verse 3. Let's read this fast. Read through this fast.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
When will the temple be destroyed?
And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
What's the sign of your return?
And of the end of the world.
And what are the signs of the end of the world? We're about to read about the signs of the end of the world. Read.
Jesus answered and said unto him, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Saying, I am Christian. The root word to Christian is Christ. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christian. Read.
And shall deceive many.
And they're going to deceive many. Read.
And ye shall hear of wars.
And ye shall hear of wars. That's today. War in Gaza. War in Yemen. That's now. He said, and ye shall hear of wars. Read.
And rumors of wars.
And rumors of wars. Rumors that Iran might get in this war with the UK and the United States of America. Rumors that China might invade Taiwan in 2024. Rumors of World War III. Man. Rumors of war. That's today. Read.
See that ye be not troubled.
Don't be troubled.
For all these things must come to pass.
These things have to happen. Read.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. Read.
For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation shall rise against nation. That's nationality at war with another nationality. That's Amalek at war with Ishmael, yo. Read.
And kingdom against kingdom.
That's Edom at war with Edom. That's Russia at war with the Ukraine. Read.
And there shall be famine.
And there shall be famines.
And pestilences.
And pestilences.
And earthquakes.
And earthquakes.
In diverse places.
In diverse places. All of these are signs of the end of this world. All of these are signs of the end of this time, yo. Hey, next folder, last folder. I just want to touch the earthquakes real quick in diverse places. We are almost done. We are almost done. I just want to touch the earthquakes real quick in diverse places. Yeah, play this first. Matter of fact, hold on. Fast forward, because I don't want to watch this whole thing. Fast forward. Bring it. Keep going. Go all the way over. Keep going all the way. Pass him. I don't want to hear this guy. Okay, slow. Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit. Okay, stop right there. Play right here. All right,
Thank you, Professor Vittorio. Note that the number of earthquakes and their magnitude have started to increase on continent as well. Take a look at this graph. You can see an exponential growth in the number of
wait till it come all the way up and down.
earthquakes. According
that. Go back a little bit. No, you good. I saw. Yeah, and zoom this in real fast. Zoom in. Go to the 3 dots. Zoom in. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, look at this graph, yo. It's blurry as hell, but you got 2019, 2020 in the red. Look how much seismic activity has increased. Look how much seismic activity has increased, yo. Press play. No, I don't think you need to zoom out. You might be good.
Discovery seismic database.
Okay.
What you can see on is not just a growth. It's an exponential growth. This means that the number of earthquakes is increasing with a huge acceleration. It's important to note that the earthquake has started occurring even in areas where they shouldn't happen. Consider the earthquake in Morocco this year. According to experts, it was abnormal, and no one expected it there. This means that very soon, earthquake may start to occur where you are, even if you have never had them before.
Signs of the end. Earthquakes in diverse places. Go out real quick. Number 2.1. Let me get that. Look at this. Series of small explosions, no injuries reported after 7.1 magnitude quake in New York. And this was on January 2nd, 2024. Damn. Go over. It says a 1.7 magnitude earthquake that hit New York City. Hey, how you say it in life? New York City? New York City.
New York City.
Early Tuesday may have caused a series of small explosions on the island between Manhattan and Queens, officials said. They felt that earthquake from between Manhattan and Queens, yo.
1.7.
Damn, Gore. Hold up. The U.S. Geological Survey reported that the quake occurred at 5:40 a.m. near Astoria section of Queens. Damn, Gore. Small earthquakes shakes Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. Also on January 2nd, 2024. Damn earthquake shaking Maryland, D.C. A small earthquake shook the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. early Tuesday, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Go over. Earthquake swarm rattles Oklahoma City. And that was January 13th, 2024. Is that today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's today. That's the Sabbath. That's the Shabbat. Real talk. Go over. Yellowstone shaking things up with its first 2 earthquakes in the first week of 2024.
Yeah, that's January 6th.
January 6th, 2024. Look at this. 2013. 213 deaths were caused by Japan's New Year quake. 8.0 opened in alleged safety of shelters. I accidentally blocked it out, but it's Japan. I'm pretty sure their eyes can see through that little circle. Go over real quick. Los Angeles, New Year off to a shaky start. 4.1 magnitude earthquake hits. That was on New Year's Day, the same day, or so-called New Year's Day. The same day that Japan was hit, California was hit. But it wasn't just Japan and California. Go over. Press play on this. Matter of fact, see if it zooms in, real well. All right. You just X out and then open it up in the other jump. Yeah, it's the last one. See if it zooms in good.
Quakes and tsunami warnings all over.
All right, hold. Zoom out real quick. I need to see what it said at the top real fast. Did I miss something? Breaking. See tsunami after 7.6 magnitude. Oh, I don't need to see that. Bring it all the way back and press play.
Quakes and tsunami warnings all over the world today as not just Japan, but Hawaii, Alaska, California, Yellowstone, Montana, Indonesia, the Virgin Islands, El Salvador, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, Fiji, Russia, Texas, Chile, and the Northern Mariana Islands have all experienced earthquakes in the last 24 hours as today
January 1st, 2024, the first day of the new year, it seems that the entire world is trembling. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage so you can see it for yourself and the tsunamis that are pouring in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This all hitting on the first day of 2024. And like I said, I'm going to share with you the video footage so you can see it for yourself. But let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up. Now, before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash the like button. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll keep you up to speed on everything so you know exactly what's going on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some video footage.
Coastal regions of Japan on the west coast are under a tsunami warning after a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck in the west of the country.
Well then. Earthquakes in diverse places. All signs of what? Man. All signs of what? Doomsday. The day of doom. Esau knows that. The devil knows that. That's why they building bunkers. Give me that about doomsday in 2nd Ezra 7. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 43. And then we're gonna cut some things out because I gotta finish this. I'm not doing no part 2.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time.
But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. The day of doom? Doomsday. Doomsday, yo. And that thing is approaching. How do we know? The signs. The signs tell us that the day of doom is approaching. And the day of doom is going to be the end of this time. Read it again.
But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come. Immortality for it to come, Salakia. Wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at its end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up.
All praises. Now, let's get Revelation chapter 12 and verse 1 so we can go ahead and wrap this thing up real quick. Revelation 12 and 1.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven. This is the first wonder that John the Revelator saw in heaven. The first sign that John the Revelator saw in heaven. And out of all of the wonders, out of the signs, this is the greatest. This is why he said, what? Read it again.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
There appeared a great wonder in heaven. Out of all 3 wonders or signs that appeared in heaven, this is the greatest one. But keep going.
A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
Read.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars. This woman represents Israel. It represents Israel, yo. Hey, give me that about Israel being likened to a woman, Jeremiah 6 and 2.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion.
Zion is just another name for Israel. Read it again.
I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
Give me Isaiah 54 and 5. Isaiah 54 and 5. Read 5 and 6.
The book of Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 5. For thy maker is thy husband. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read.
And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called.
Read.
For the Lord hath called thee as a woman.
For the Lord has called thee, talking about Israel, a woman. Read.
Forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou was refused, saith the Lord,
So
saith thy God.
This woman in Revelation 12, with the sun and the moon at her feet, and a crown of 12 stars, it's Israel. The crown of 12 stars gives it away. Remember, the nation of Israel is made up of 12 tribes. Those 12 tribes are 12 stars. Give me that real quick in Genesis 37 and 9. Let's read that real quick. Genesis 37, 9 and 10.
The book of Genesis chapter 37 and verse 9.
Read.
And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren.
He's talking about Joseph. Read.
And said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me.
The sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. Read.
And his brethren, verse 10, and he told it to his father.
And he told the dream to his father as well. Read.
And to his brethren.
And to his brethren. Read.
And his father rebuked him.
And his father rebuked him. His father Jacob rebuked him. Read.
And said unto him,
What did he say?
What is this dream?
What is this dream? See, you will notice that Jacob was able to interpret this dream very fast. Why? Because he was a prophet. But read that part again. What is this dream?
What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth?
Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren make obeisance to you. See, in the dream, in Joseph's dream, Jacob represented the sun. His mother represented the moon. His brethren were those 11 stars. Those 11 stars, yo. See, those 11 stars represent the tribes of Israel. Israel is made up of 12 tribes. The 12 tribes are 12 stars. The sun and the moon at the woman's feet represents wisdom and understanding. Give me that in 2nd Ezra 13 where he calls understanding his mother. What was it, 55?
Yeah,
Shoot from the hip. I didn't write this down.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 55. Thy life hast thou ordained in wisdom.
Ezra ordained his life in wisdom, God's wisdom.
And that's called understanding thy mother.
And that's called understanding thy mother. Remember, in Joseph's dream, his mother was represented by what? The moon. The moon. So the moon represents what? Understanding, yo. It represents understanding. That being the lesser light. Wisdom is represented by the sun, which is the greater light. This is why in Proverbs it says wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. Yep. And with all thy getting, get understanding, yo. Real talk. Now let's go back to Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12, and I want to read verse 6.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Jump down to 14.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
That she might fly into the wilderness. This is saying the same thing as said in verse 6. That she might fly into the wilderness. The wilderness is talking about the interiors of Africa. That's what it's talking about here, right?
And to her place.
And to her place. Her place, Mystery Babylon the Great. The United States of America. That's her place, right?
Where she is nourished for a time.
Where she is nourished for a time.
And times.
And for a time.
And half a time.
And half a time.
From the face of the serpent.
From the face of the serpent. Hey, give me the place real quick in Hosea chapter 1. We'll come back here because I mentioned it. I might as well bring it out. Hosea chapter 1. Start at verse 10.
Hosea chapter 1 verse 10.
Read.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Read.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them.
That in the place where it was said unto them what?
Ye are not my people.
You are not the Israelites. Where was this said to us first? The United States of America, yo. This is the place that told us we are not the people of God. We're not Judah and Benjamin and Levi and Ephraim and Manasseh and Gad and Asher and Issachar. No, we're blacks. We're Native Indians. We're Hispanics. We're Latinos.
We West Indies.
Niggas. Wetbacks. Spicks. That's what they told us. This is that place right here. Read that again.
Verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place.
In the place, this place is the United States of America, Babylon. Read.
Where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Where they called us niggas and spicks. Read.
There it shall be said unto them.
There in that same place it shall be said what?
Ye are the sons of the living God.
In that same place we're telling our people, no, we are the children of Israel. We are the sons and daughters of the living God. Keep going.
Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, both kingdoms, read.
Be gathered together.
Be gathered together.
And appoint themselves one head.
That one head, Christ, read.
And they shall come up out of the land.
And they shall come up out of the land. What land is this talking about? Mystery Babylon the Great. It's talking about the land of the north, yo. We're going to come up out of the land of the north together. Both kingdoms. Keep going.
For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
For great shall be the day of deliverance, yo. Great shall be the day of Jezreel. Hey, give me that about both kingdoms coming out of the land of the north in Jeremiah 3. Because I know somebody's like, yes, it is. Jeremiah chapter 3, was it 18? I'm shooting from the hip. I didn't put this in the class.
Yes. Look at Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north.
The land of the north is that place. That place that said, we are not the people of God. He said, they shall come together out of the land of the north. Read.
To the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
Hey, give me Micah 4 and 10. Give me Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. You got to hurry up in this thing.
Yeah. Micah. The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city.
The city was Jerusalem. This took place in 70 AD, right?
And thou shalt dwell in the field.
And thou shalt dwell in the field. The field is the wilderness show. He said, thou shalt dwell in the field. The field is making reference to the interiors of Africa and the entire world, right?
And thou shalt go even to Babylon.
And from there, from the field, from the wilderness, we go where?
Even to Babylon.
From the field, from the wilderness, we went to Babylon. We were brought to Babylon, that great city. Read.
There shalt thou be delivered.
And deliverance comes to this place. I mean, we read that in Revelation chapter 11. We read that in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Deliverance is coming to this place. Sometimes brothers be like, you need to pack up and leave. Go ahead and get you a plane ticket. No, no, no. You scary brothers can leave.
But you brothers that believe, you brothers that got faith, you need to know deliverance is coming to this place, man. Deliverance is coming to Babylon. Read.
And there the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
Let's go back to the book of Revelation chapter 12 again. And let's read verse 14.
Yes, we start verse 14.
Read 14 again.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
The wilderness, the field. Talking about deeper into Africa and from there all throughout the world. Read.
And to her place.
Into her place, which is Babylon. Read.
Where she is nourished for a time. And times.
And times.
And a half a time.
And a half a time.
From the face of the serpent.
Who is the serpent? Esau, Idomia, Edom. Remember we read about that earlier in the class. That great red dragon. That old what? That old serpent show. That's who is talking about our enemy. Today, Esau has Jacob in captivity. Today, Jacob serves. Jump up the verse, but that's not going to be forever. It's only for a time. And a times. Excuse me, only for a time. And times. And half a time. It's not forever. Jump up to verse 7. We're going to end here. I want to read down to verse 11 and we're done.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Hold on. When it's talking about war in heaven, it's not talking about in paradise. It's not talking about in the third heaven where God Almighty is. Give me that in Job 25 and 2 real quick. Give me Job chapter 25 and verse 2. Because somebody's going to be imagining to themselves there's a war in the third heaven. Read this real quick.
The book of Job chapter 25 and verse 2. Dominion and fear are with him.
Dominion and fear are with God the Father. Read.
He maketh peace.
He maketh what?
He maketh peace.
Read.
In his high places.
He makes peace in his high places. There's no more high place than the third heaven. In the third heaven, guess what's in the third heaven? Is it war?
Peace.
It's peace, yo. It's peace that's in the third heaven. So when he says Michael and his angels fought with the dragon and his angels in heaven, it's talking about in the earth, in the high places of the earth, in the kingdoms of the earth. Give me that in Judges 5 and 18. Read 18 through 20.
The book of Judges chapter 5 and verse 18.
Read.
I mean, Joshua, wow.
That's how they get it. Oh, you got it? Go ahead,
Judges chapter 5 and verse 18.
Speak up, though.
Zebulon and Naphtali.
Zebulon and Naphtali are 2 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
Were a people that jeoparded their lives unto death. In the high places of the field.
In the high places of the field. Zebulon and Naphtali were warring in the high places of the field. Fighting in the high places of the field. Read.
The kings came and fought.
The kings of the field came to fight.
Then fought the kings in Canaan.
Then fought the kings of Canaan. They came to fight.
In Tanakh.
In Tanakh.
By the waters of Megiddo.
By the waters of Megiddo. By the waters of Megiddo. Go ahead.
They took no gain.
They took no gain. Why? Because they died there. They died there. That's why they didn't take no gain. Read.
Of money. They fought from heaven.
They fought from where?
Heaven.
They fought from heaven. They fought from heaven. Zebulon and Naphtali fought from heaven. Where did they fight from? Paradise? No. The high places of the field. The high places of the earth. The kingdoms of the earth, yo. That's what it's talking about. Finish the verse.
The stars and their courses fought against Sisera. So like, yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
All praises. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The stars, Zebulon and Naphtali, yo. Zebulon and Naphtali. Go back to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7.
The book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels.
Read.
And prevailed not.
And they didn't prevail. Read.
Neither was there place found any more in heaven.
No more place found for them in heaven, meaning no more rulership for them. Read.
And the great dragon was cast out.
And the great dragon, talking about Esau, Edom, the Edomites, they were cast out. Read.
That old serpent.
That old serpent.
Called the devil.
Which is the devil. They look at us like we're racist when we say the Edomites are the devil.
Yeah.
The Bible says that white so-called white people are the devil.
And Satan.
The Bible says they're Satan. We didn't write this. This was here before I was born. Here before he was born. It'll be here after we go. The Bible calls him that. Read.
And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Liars, read.
He was cast out into the earth. And his angels were cast out with him.
And his angels were cast out with him. His angels are his allies among the nations. Keep going.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation.
Now is come salvation.
And strength.
And strength.
And the kingdom of our God.
And the kingdom of our God. This is how you know they will not rule over us forever, yo. It's only for a certain amount of time. Keep going.
And the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren.
The accuser of the brethren is Edom. Read.
Is cast down. Which accused them before our God day and night.
And they accuse us day and night. Read.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
How did we overcome?
By the blood of the Lamb. And by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
And they loved not their lives unto the death, man. Well, I'm going to end this thing unless anybody got anything they want to bring out.
Nah.
Hey, well, I'm going to end this thing, or we're going to end this thing in the same way we began this thing. And that's by giving all praises, all glory, all honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
Through his only begotten Son, Jesus the Christ.
Right.
Secondly, we're going to give our elders double honors again.
Thanks, though.
They're counted worthy of double honors. They're going to get their double honors, man. Lastly, finally, I want to say to all of my brothers, all of my sisters out there, Lord's willing, we got something out the lesson. Farewell. My name is Priest Lithiel Ben Israel.
And my name is Priest Ron Ben Israel. And like bro said earlier, hopefully you got something out the class. And if you like to find out more information about Holy Nation Israel and who we are, first and foremost, you can check out our school and the information on Facebook as well as Instagram under the Holy Nation of Israel. And then also, too, our YouTube page, Straight Grade of Israel. And also me, you can find me on Facebook as well as on Instagram under Ron Ben Israel. And on Instagram, make sure there's lowercase and an underscore between the two.
Find me on IG at Lithiel617 and on Facebook at Lithiel Ben Israel.
And like usual, like I always say, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay up to date with our content as we drop, mostly daily. And as well, because you know, the Edomites, the other nations, they hate that right there. Facts. Along with Edom, Ishmaelites, Moabites, Ammonites, and so on and so on. And with that, say shalom.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom.